Hi everybody, Bree here. I hope you are watching this and having an amazing day. Even if you're not, we're going to talk about seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So, on Sunday night, I had a full-on breakdown and I told Charles, I can't see the light. I no longer see the light at the end of the tunnel. And we've heard this before, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel like we search for this light, right? We search for this light that we're gonna see. And if we can't see it, then we lose all trust that there's even a light there. We lose all trust about what's gonna happen because, oh, I don't see the light. The light's not there. I'm in the darkness. And I know that if that happened to me on Sunday, then there's a really good chance that that's happened to other people. And so I just want to talk on it a little bit. So Sunday night, had a full-on breakdown, couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, kind of felt a little bit better. Monday morning, woke up and was like, I feel good. And then the shit hit the fan. I just had like, I told my dad when I was telling him everything that happened, and I said, I need to journal today because when they make a movie about me one day, they're gonna have to put this scene in the movie and say, no, that actually happened. It was just one of those days. Like every single thing happened one after another, and I'm laughing about it now because it's over. I'm not experiencing any of it anymore. But yesterday was just like nothing involving the studio. Just everything was just awful. But something I told Charles was, just because I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel right now, because I couldn't see it last night and I'm sure I don't see it this morning, yesterday. Just because I can't see the light doesn't mean the light isn't there. So because both of us were in such a bad mood, we both started talking about our gratitudes. And so I said, tell me something you're grateful for. And he said, okay, I'm grateful for this. And I said, give me 2 more things. So he gave me 2 more things. And then, which we talked about this on Sunday night. We talked about you cannot be in a negative mood and live in gratitude, right? You can't have an attitude and live in gratitude at the same time. They just don't live on the same planet. So when we have attitudes, we try to live in gratitude to kind of like change everything. So I said, tell me something you're grateful for. He told me some things that he was grateful for. And then he said, tell me something you're grateful for. And one of the things that I was grateful for, I said, I'm grateful that even if we can't see the light is always there. So if I know that there's a light, then even if I can't see it, I can trust that it's there. And that got me thinking about, and here's where I wanted to tell a story and kind of bring this together with an analogy and a story. So a few years ago, Charles and I were adventuring and we found lava caves on Mount St. Helens. And lava caves are really cool because what happened was when Mount St. Helens erupted, it erupted with lava, but there was snow on the mountain. So when it erupted, the lava came from the top and then flowed down the mountain. And when it flowed down the mountain like this, the top part cooled immediately because it was so cold. So the top part cooled, but then the lava that was insulated kept going down the mountain. And then when all the lava was gone, there are lava tubes on Mount St. Helens or lava caves, because the outside cooled, and so when all the lava was gone, it was hollow. So there are some that are like miles long, there's some that are just a little bit long, and we were hiking in one, and we each had 2 sources of light, and we still couldn't see to here. Like we could not see past here, so we had to walk really, really slowly, and there was no light in that cave. It was so dark that our flashlights, the darkness ate our flashlights. Like we shined our flashlight at the wall and there was no light on the wall. It was like the darkness was consuming all the light. And if you think about that, you can think about that in any way you want to. But there was so much darkness that it was consuming the light. So we're hiking. It was kind of fun, and then it was not fun anymore. And this was I think it was like 1.5 miles in the dark hiking, and I was not having fun. After like 20 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm ready to be out. I'm ready to get out of this. I'm ready to see some light. I'm ready to not be in this confined space anymore. And some of them some spaces we had to crawl through, and some were like big like a subway. And so it wasn't like we were crawling through the space the entire time. It was really cool. It was different as we went along. And at one point I hit my head really hard and I was like, I swear I'm bleeding. That was about halfway through. I was already done being in the cave at that point, but I was really done being in the cave when I hit my head. And I remember walking and being like, how do we know this cave, how do we know there's a light at the end of the tunnel? How do we know that this cave opens back up again? You know, and we knew because it said people do that cave all the time. But how do we know that this cave opens back up again? Just because somebody put a sign there, how are we supposed to trust that we're going to be able to get out of this? And that was my mental state. Will there ever be a light at the end of this tunnel? And we were just kind of continuing on forward, waiting. And then I saw light. Oh my gosh, I saw light. We were walking towards it and I was like, that's weird. How are we supposed to get out of there? And it wasn't light. It was a sunlight. It was a hole in the cave that was bringing in light. And I was thinking that it didn't really, like we've seen in movies where there's like a false top or a false exit, or we didn't really lose trust in the fact that we were going to see light. Because we saw light through that skylight, through that hole in the lava cave, it kind of gave us hope that there is light. Like, we're not just in the darkness forever. So even if this light is not our exit, even if this light is not the way for us to leave, it's still reminding us that there is light, right? So we're not just walking deeper into the darkness. There is light somewhere. We just have to find it. And so we continued walking the path. Knowing that we were going to find light, even though we didn't see it, right? So even though we didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, we knew it was there. And eventually we found the light. It was amazing. We chalked it up as an amazing experience, a fun experience. I would definitely do it again. But in the moment, it did not seem like a fun place to be. I was not happy being there at all. But it was partially because I was scared. So if we think about what's happening right now, if we think about what's been happening for the last 2 weeks, what's been happening, what's going to happen for the next 4 weeks. So at the end of this, we're going to be in this together for 6 weeks, at least, where things are kind of a little bit different, right? And right now we might not be able to see the light, right? We might stop believing that there is light. We might just hate the place that we're in and allow the darkness to consume all the light in our space. But keep walking, keep following along in your journey, keep going, because there is light. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So when we're walking along this tunnel, here's the light. We're walking along this tunnel and we're like, there's no light, there's no light. And the light's like, come here, walk closer, come to me, I'm here. And so we start walking closer and then we see the skylight, and we could have went one of two ways. We could have been like, there's light, okay, I'm gonna run towards the light. Or we could have said, oh, that was a false top. Now I'm even more upset and I've lost more hope because I thought that was the finish. And well, the whole time the light's saying, come here, walk a little bit farther, move a little bit farther on your goal. The more you walk, the closer you get, right? It's like running a marathon. The more steps you take, the closer you are to the end, but it feels like forever. It feels like it's going to take forever to get there. And then it might not even be there, that the finish line, that the light at the end of the tunnel isn't even there. So I am making this video because I want you to know that even if you can't see the light, even if you don't know that the light is there, even if you don't know where the light is, just keep moving forward and trust that there is light. You just don't see it right now. Okay, I love you. We're having so much fun with you guys. We're learning as much, if not more, from you guys than you guys are learning from us. And I'll talk to you guys soon.